Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza, and as you can see, we've got a very, very special guest tonight, my partner Steve. Hello Steve.
Hello.
So tonight there will be no yarn involved at all. We're going to talk about the crafting with leather. Now my partner is going to enter his leather crafted goods into the Royal Easter Show this year, but before we show you his entries, I thought it'd be very exciting and a lot of fun to find out a little bit about working with leather. Now it is very foreign to me because I've never crafted with it myself, but watching my partner with the passion that he has for it, and when he talks about it, I'm sure it will ignite some passion in you as well. So let's get started. I've got my clipboard as always and my marker, and I've got questions to ask Steve. So let's get started. Now, as I said before, it's going to be a lot of fun. So Steve, answer me this please so that we all know as well. How long have you been doing leather work?
Over 20 years.
Oh wow, that is so amazing. Now my next question, so that obviously leads me to, how did you learn the craft?
Okay, so I was walking down the street one day and I saw a guy who was doing something on a fence, and he had some leather strands tied to a fence, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm doing a 4-strand braid." And I said, "Oh, how do you do that?" And he showed me how to do it. And I picked it up straight away and my hands automatically went to it. I was actually very fast and I really enjoyed it. And then from plaiting,
Yes.
he showed me how to carve and stamp leather.
Oh wow, so you're
All
actually a
different
natural.
types. Yeah.
That is so amazing.
And it was something that just came natural to me. And I really enjoy it. I love doing it. I've done a lot of pieces.
That is so amazing that someone can just see someone doing something and then just picks it up. That is so awesome. Now, obviously, to do any craft, we need our tools and the materials, right, guys? We've got our hooks and yarn. What do you have, Steve? What are some of your tools? And I will gladly be your Vanna White. I will show them off while you talk about them.
So my main tool is my little board, my stamping board. I put my leather piece down there and my mallet, my timber mallet.
Yes, we can see that.
Yep, and I use that because that cushions a lot of the impact, and you don't want to do it on leather because on concrete or anything like that, because the impact that you hit depends how deep you go in the leather.
Which I guess you're going to be referring to your tools, right?
Yep.
Is that okay?
That's right.
So that is so awesome that you can start off with a block of wood and a wooden mallet and you can actually get started. But obviously there's more tools that we need.
So these are most of my tools.
I'll give you a little hand here. And what are these? Are these, from memory, correct me if I'm wrong, are they your stamping tools?
Yep.
Awesome.
Stamping and carving.
Okay, so let me pop them down. Now, let's talk about two main ones. What are your favorite stamping or carving tools?
Okay, so these two here are very similar, but the finish is different. They're the main tools that you use.
They are beautiful tools.
Yeah. So one of them is smooth, one of them is rough. The rough one...
So this is the rough one?
And the rough one gives you a different texture. So when you dye it, it gives you a different finish.
And there's the smooth one, guys. Okay, beautiful. Now, what are some other tools?
So we have this one here. Can you see that?
Yes.
So this one goes like that. So what we do with this one here, after we've wet our leather, we mark it all out.
Okay, so it's almost like tracing out your design?
Yes.
Awesome.
With a knife.
Nice.
You just use the edge.
I imagine that would be very sharp.
It's not very sharp because you don't want to cut it right through your leather.
Of course, of course. Okay.
Some people will use a Stanley knife, but a Stanley knife is bad because it'll go right through, and you probably go right through to the other side.
Noted. Okay.
So then we've got various other tools. So this one here measures holes on the edge of our leather.
So is that similar to a rotary cutter?
That's what it is.
Okay.
a rotary marker. And this one here will give you a border. So you might want to bevel your border. You can adjust in and out to see.
So the width of your border?
How much you want to cut out, yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's it.
Okay.
We have this other designed here that we can see that one.
So with a mallet, you would hit it on the top and that would stamp that.
Stamp that design.
Okay, so that helps create your overall picture.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we will be giving you a little example very soon, guys, of project as well.
So one of my students who's Croatian is going to be using this one because he wants to make the Croatian emblem.
That is so awesome. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course we're going to have to talk about leather, guys. We're doing leather work. What types of leather do you use for your leather goods?
So the main leather we use is cowhide. They're all different sizes. That's the hide.
So if you want to take it up close up for everyone to see. So as we can see, there's a smooth side, and on the flip side, it's almost like suede. Is that what you call it? Yes. And which side do you work on?
You work on the smooth side.
Okay, let's show everyone the smooth side. Awesome.
So what you do is you wet that side there.
And why do you wet it?
So at the moment, you can't mark it.
Okay.
Unless you scratch
it's quite hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
tough.
Once you wet it, it becomes soft.
Of course. That makes
So
sense.
once it's soft, we can trace our design on there.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, do you use any other type of leather?
The other type of leather we use is pigskin.
And what do you use the pigskin for?
Pigskin we use for lining of bags,
Okay.
belts, things
Okay,
like that.
wonderful.
It comes in different colours. It's like a suede, but a very, very thin suede.
Okay. I'll take it up nice and close. So there's the rougher side there, and there's the smoother side. And again, you said that this one comes in different colours, but the cowhide, from memory, correct me if I'm wrong, you need to dye.
The cowhide is one colour, that's how it comes,
Okay.
but we dye it. We dye
Awesome.
it various colours.
You see, guys, I do pay attention. It's not just about me all the time. Now, what is this? I love this.
Okay.
So let's show everyone so they can see it.
This is my kangaroo lace.
That's very Aussie of us, isn't it? And what do you use this for?
Okay, this is for my edging.
Okay,
This is what I plait with.
awesome.
So you can do 4-strand, 5-strand, 6-strand braid.
That's very impressive. I can only do a 3-strand braid when I braid my own hair.
You can do a square braid, you can do a round braid.
And I believe we have some examples of that for you. I'm so excited. Now,
This comes in different colours also.
oh, okay, I did not know that.
That's an Australian product.
Well, it says kangaroo on it, right, guys? Now, we're going to talk you through, well, Steve is not I, the process of creating one of his projects. And we've chosen his icon because he happens to have the very start to the very end of the process. So let me show it to you, Steve, if I may. This is so gorgeous, guys. I hope that the light does it justice. I'll bring it up close so you can see the detail in it. I'll go from the top all the way to the bottom. How awesome is that, guys?
So various tools will do various different effects. So if you can see, he's got a beard, all the hair shows, his hair up here. Then you've got the robes, the overlapping of the robes, the hand in front of the robes.
That is so awesome. All done by the little set of stamping tools. When I say little, there's about 20 pieces here. So Steve, I'll let you take over now and talk us from the very beginning for the process to make this gorgeous icon.
Okay, so with the icon, we chose what we wanted to do, the subject, and from there what we did, we traced it on tracing paper.
Yes. That is so cool, right, guys? Look at the detail. That's what always amazes me, the detail.
So then what we do is we wet our leather thoroughly, and
Transfer.
then we just transfer.
The image.
We've got a scribe here, and we just transfer. We go through the whole lot and mark it all down there. We're really careful so we don't stain it or anything with our hands. So
Of course.
you just got to be careful because oil in our hands can stain the leather.
Okay, wonderful tips. Wonderful tips.
You just got to be careful when you're doing it. You make sure you don't forget anything, which is a major problem sometimes because you're not doing it with ink because ink stains. You're just marking it. So once you've marked it and it's all nice and wet and you can check every detail, you get this tool here, the scribe. And I'll just use this as an example. So what you do is you cut your lines through. You can swivel around if you like, around corners.
Oh, wow. And that's what brings the image, makes it a little bit deeper. So where you've scored into the leather, now you're actually scribing. Is that
You're just cutting the top layer.
Cutting into the top layer.
You're cutting the top layer. You don't want to go deeper, like I said, because the next step now is you're going to stamp it. So once that's wet,
yes.
Once that's wet now, you start stamping. So you stamp it. You can hit it along your line, along your cut.
Okay.
So once you've hit it along your cut, it depends what finish you want. But this one here is a smooth one, but there's other ones that are rough ones.
Yeah. And obviously, in the span of this video, guys, you're not going to see, exactly how it's done, but you'll get the idea. And, if you fall in love with it, obviously, in the comments down below, you'll have an opportunity to ask Steve some questions if you wish, and I'm sure that he'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Please continue, Steve.
Okay. So we showed you this tool earlier. They're the holes that you mark out. So you mark each one, and then you just, with a hole punch, small hole punch, you just make the holes, and then that's ready for lacing.
Oh wow, yes, nice.
So that'll fit the lace. There's a special needle for the lace.
Wow. That is so awesome. Okay, so then what happens, how do you get, sorry, my question is this, the dyeing process.
Right.
How difficult is it? How careful do you need to be? I imagine that is very delicate.
Okay, so you have to be very, very careful with your dyeing. Now, with this one here, what we did was we dyed it, but then we wipe all the dye off.
Okay.
So you let it soak for about 2-3 seconds, and then you wipe it off. And then that way you'll see that it'll go in all the dents and everything like that.
All the little grooves
and all the
everything.
Grooves and all the cuts. And then you determine whether you need to do it again.
Okay.
So this one here, we did do it again because we wanted a dark finish.
Yes.
And we actually dyed this one twice.
Okay. Now, I imagine the answer is yes, but if you, the more times you dye it,
Yes.
obviously it gets darker. And also, does it dry darker? That's my question.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, so you always got to be careful. You wait
Okay.
between coats for it to dry.
And roughly how long will it take to dry between coats?
It will take about 10 minutes.
Okay, so
Doesn't
you really
take
need
long.
to be careful.
Yeah.
Yes, but that 10 minutes could create a whole different effect.
That's right.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes,
Then
continue.
after you've done that, you've also got a sealer that you put on top to protect it.
There you go.
And if you want, it depends on the finish you want, but you might want a gloss finish, which I've got something there that will give it a shinier finish.
Okay, we'll have a look at those in a moment. And then you're done. You've created a masterpiece. So thank you so much, Steve, for talking us through the process of working with leather. We can see you're very passionate about it, and you could probably talk about it for hours, and maybe one other time we shall continue. But tonight it's also all about Steve's entries into the Royal Easter Show. I'm so very excited that you've taken the leap of faith this year, because when we went last year, very, very quickly, backstory, we actually didn't just go to see the my entries and just the yarn. We saw everything that was on exhibit, including all the leather work. And Steve and I looked at each other and I said, darling, I'm pretty sure you can enter your leather work. And he was like, no. He's not quite like me. He's a little bit more on the modest side. And we begged and pleaded him. The whole family said, please, just put it in for fun. We want to go and see it in there. And whatever happens after that happens. So when we do our we just brought everything back from the Easter show and let you know what's happened. I will definitely be doing one, obviously, for our crochet and one for Steve's leather goods as well. So now, without any further ado, guys, Steve's going to talk to you about each and every entry. I believe he has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, which I think is so awesome. So let me get my little list here because we don't want to miss out anything. So the very first one is your hand carved leather tobacco pouch. I absolutely love this one, and I'll let Steve talk to you about it. You see, guys, I can't stop talking.
Okay, so that's my tobacco pouch.
How about we go very close down so they can see the amazing work on it, and the back is.
So that's all carved and stamped. That's there for your paper. That's all hand sewn on there. Now this has also got the braiding,
yes,
around the perimeter, and that's the back of it.
Now, is this a glossy finish that you were talking about?
That is a glossy finish.
Okay, it's beautiful. And I love the clip you've put on it and everything.
So that's
So not that we're promoting smoking, but any smoker would love to have one of those, right, guys?
I've made a lot of those for a lot of the guys.
That's awesome, darling. Your little face was off camera.
That's
right. Now, number 2, your hand-carved leather glasses case. Now, who wouldn't want one of these? I certainly do. There you go, darling.
So this one here's my glass case. It's also lined inside with brown pigskin and plaited around the perimeter.
It's a beautiful design. And what I love about it, it's quite sturdy. Your glasses would definitely survive, if that fell on the ground.
So that's what we were talking about before. That's a 4-strand braid, round braid, turning into a 4-strand square braid. Oops. You see that?
Now, what I neglected to ask you, for the previous piece
Yep.
and this one, roughly, how many hours would it take you from start to finish to get it done?
So
Roughly.
the braiding is what takes the most time.
So how long would you guesstimate?
Yeah, about 30 to 40 hours.
That is so
each one.
awesome. Now, what we didn't show everyone as well is, how you talked about the different types of the flat and the square and the flat
Yeah,
braids?
I spoke about that. The
bad.
round braid and the square braid.
That's so awesome. Now, on the other hand, so you guys just heard 20 to 30 hours to create a piece like that. On the flip side, to create something like the icon, which I think is so beautiful, how long would it take you to do that?
Oh, that's only about 2 to 3 hours.
I just love that. Oh, that's just only 2 to 3 hours. That is so awesome.
Yeah, that's easy.
Now, the next thing we have is another gorgeous little leather handbag. I'll let Steve show it off.
So that's just another bag. Braided around the edge. Lined inside with pigskin.
It's beautiful. It's simple and yet so elegant.
That's just carved. We kept this one nice and simple.
And again, I'm guessing 30 to 40 hours?
Yes. That's what takes the most time.
Yes. I imagine it would.
That would take about 4 to 6 hours, just that section.
Wow. Now, lucky last, we have our hand-carved leather portrait of our Saviour. And how long roughly for this one?
There was a lot of work in this one.
Mm-hmm.
This one here would have taken about 6-7 hours.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
So it's
But you want to do it in one go. When you start, you don't want to finish.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, this is my favourite.
It is lovely. And I love that this one's also got the braiding on the edges as well. So the question that, I need to ask you is, how do you feel before, during, and after you work on a piece?
Before, the planning stage is exciting because when you're planning it, you're thinking, how is it going to look? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I use that tool?
Yes.
Then when you're doing it, you tap and you think, maybe I should tap it a little bit harder to get a better effect.
Yes.
And you're always wondering, should I do this? Should I do that?
Yeah.
And it's like I said to you, at the end, you've got to say, that's it, stop, I've finished.
Yes.
Because you can keep on going and then you might destroy it.
Yeah, I think that is, I think all crafters can relate to that,
Yeah.
can't we? It's sort of like the perfectionist in us, isn't it? We want to get the best result, and sometimes we take it too far, right?
Yeah.
I like the way you think, that you just have to say, I need to stop now. I've achieved what I started to make. And let's be real, guys. Art is something that everyone sees differently. And we're all artists, really. Whether you're working with leather or yarn or any other type of fibre, whether it's paper crafting, we all know that it gives us that much joy. And when we keep something, I don't think we're as critical as we are when we're going to gift it.
No, that's right.
So,
I've given a lot of it away.
which is lovely. I mean, I'm sure that that's brought you a lot of joy as well. Many people would have a handmade leather crafted good by Steve. So, thank you all for joining us, but especially for you, Steve, because I know that it took a little bit of coercing from me. And, I did say please, please many, many times, but there was no pressure other than me just continually saying, hey, do you want to do this? And I think that all of you would have enjoyed having Steve as our very, very first special guest here at Coco's Crochet, and with something completely different, which I think is always very exciting that we get to share our craft, right, guys? So Steve, from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure that everybody would agree, we just want to say thank you so, so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Now, I know I love to chat, but you did an awesome job, so maybe you could do another appearance. Maybe when we come back from the Easter show with all our entries, maybe Steve can do a little, review and let you know what happened with his leather goods. So once again, I hope you're all keeping well. We certainly are. And I just want to thank you all for hanging out with us. And until we, and certainly I, see you again, take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.